There is a phone call almost everyone plans to make someday. Not today, not this week, someday. And for a painful number of people, someday arrives one day too late. You already know the moment I'm talking about. You're sitting next to someone older, your father, your mother, a grandparent, maybe someone who isn't even blood but raised you anyway. And it hits you that you never really asked them anything. Not really. You heard that voice for years, you just never actually listened to what it was carrying. And then one day, that voice isn't there to ask anymore. This isn't a video about guilt. Guilt doesn't change anything, it just sits in your chest and does nothing useful. This is about something almost nobody stops to think about. What actually happens to you quietly when you choose to respect the older people in your life, instead of just tolerating them. This is Helpful Truth, where we look past the surface and talk about what actually helps you live a better life. So, let's start with the question almost nobody asks. Why does respecting elders matter so much? Not for them, but for you. Here's the part that surprises most people. The benefit was never one-directional. We were raised to believe that respecting elders is something you owe them, like a debt you're quietly paying off. A duty, something you perform because it's the right thing to do. But that's an incomplete picture. Because the people who actually build close, respectful relationships with the older people in their lives walk away changed, calmer, more grounded, less afraid of things that used to terrify them. Why would that be true? Think about what an elder actually carries. Not just age, not just memories sitting in a drawer somewhere. They carry the version of life you are currently afraid of. Failure, and what it actually feels like, and how survivable it really is. Loss, and how a person carries on after it, one ordinary morning at a time. Starting over, more than once, and somehow still standing here, still making tea, still asking if you've eaten. You're afraid of things they've already lived through and come out the other side of. And when you respect someone enough to actually sit with them, actually listen, you get access to that experience without having to suffer through it first. That's not sentimental. That's one of the most practical advantages a human being can have. Free perspective sitting right across the table from you, and most people walk past it every single day without noticing what's actually there. Let me paint you a picture. Something small, something that happens in almost every home, so ordinary you might miss why it matters. Imagine a Sunday afternoon. An older parent starts telling a story you've heard before, maybe the third or fourth time. Your first instinct is to nod, glance at your phone, let your mind drift somewhere else. It's an easy thing to do. Nobody would even notice. But imagine, instead, you put the phone down. You ask one follow-up question you've never asked before. Not performing interest, but actually curious. And the story shifts. A small detail comes out that you never knew. Something about a hard year. A decision they almost didn't make. A fear they never told anyone about. Not even the people closest to them. That's not a dramatic moment. No music swells. Nothing changes on the outside. But something shifts on the inside. Yours and theirs. That's what respect actually looks like in practice. Not a grand gesture. A choice, repeated, in small, unremarkable moments exactly like this one. But here's where it gets harder to admit. Respect is easy to say. It's hard to practice. Elders move slower. They repeat stories. Their opinions can feel outdated in a world that changes every 6 months. And we are busy. Genuinely, legitimately busy. In a way that makes patience feel like a luxury we don't have anymore. So what happens instead? We nod along while distracted. We let calls go to voicemail because we'll call back later. We finish their sentences because we're in a hurry to get to the next thing. We mistake politeness for respect, when really, respect requires something more. Attention, the kind you can't fake for very long. Researchers who study communication with older adults actually have a name for a version of this. They call it Elderspeak, a simplified, sing-song, almost baby talk way of speaking to someone older. Often without even realizing you're doing it. It doesn't always come from rushing. Sometimes it comes from good intentions gone slightly wrong. Talking slower, using pet names, over-explaining as if age alone made someone less capable of following a normal conversation. Studies on it have found older adults often experience it as patronizing, not caring. And most people who do it aren't cruel. They've simply never been asked to notice what they're doing. There are a few patterns worth naming here, because once you see them, you can't unsee them in your own life. The first is convenient respect, being attentive only when it's easy. The second is performed respect, saying the right words, nodding at the right moments, while your mind is somewhere else entirely, already halfway out the door. And the third, maybe the most common of all, is postponed respect, telling yourself you'll really sit down and listen later, when things calm down, when you have more time. For too many people, later never actually comes. It just keeps getting pushed one more week down the road until there's no road left. None of this makes you a bad person. It makes you a busy one, living in a world built to pull your attention in 100 directions at once. But naming these patterns is the first step to choosing differently, and choosing differently is entirely within your reach, starting today. It also helps to understand why this particular relationship is so easy to deprioritize in the first place. Elders rarely ask for much. They don't send urgent messages at midnight. They don't compete for your attention the way a deadline or a notification does. Their patience, ironically, is exactly what makes them easy to overlook. There's no immediate consequence for skipping the call today, or cutting the visit short, or keeping the conversation surface level and safe. The cost doesn't show up right away. It shows up later, quietly, as time you can never get back, no matter how much you'd give to have it. So what does real respect actually look like, if it's not just being polite? It looks like listening fully, even when you think you already know what they're going to say next. It looks like asking a real question instead of a polite one. Not, "How are you?" but something closer to, "What was the hardest thing you went through at my age?" It looks like sitting with the slowness instead of rushing through it, letting a story take the time it needs to be told properly. And it looks like showing up consistently, not just on holidays, not just when it's convenient, but on the quiet, unremarkable Tuesday too. None of this requires money. It requires something rarer in this era, your full attention given without checking the time. And here's what that attention quietly builds over months and years without you even realizing it's happening. Research on this keeps landing on the same pattern. People who stay closely connected to their grandparents or older relatives tend to grow up seeing aging differently, less like a slow ending and more like a long, survivable journey. Studies have found this closeness is linked to more positive attitudes about getting older, and even to people making steadier, more future-minded choices in their own lives. That shift in perspective doesn't just change how you see elders, it changes how you see your own life, your own setbacks, your own fear of getting older, and it goes both ways. Programs and studies that bring older and younger people together consistently point to the same thing. Loneliness goes down for the young and the old alike. A stronger, quieter sense that someone, somewhere, actually has your back, no matter what happens. There's a version of this that shows up in small, everyday scenes too. A grandmother who keeps giving the same advice about saving money, and everyone in the room quietly rolls their eyes because they've heard it 100 times. But somewhere inside that repeated advice is a story about a year when there wasn't enough, a year she never talks about directly, a year that shaped every decision she's made since, a grandfather who insists on fixing something himself instead of buying a new one and gets waved off as stubborn, when really he's holding on to a version of the world where things were meant to last. These aren't quirks to be tolerated. They're doorways if you're willing to walk through them instead of walking past. And it's worth saying plainly, this isn't about agreeing with everything an elder says. Respect isn't the same as blind agreement. You can disagree gently and still listen fully. You can hold a different view of the world and still want to understand how they arrived at theirs. The goal was never to become a copy of them. The goal is to understand the person underneath the habits, the opinions, the repeated stories. There's something else worth saying here. The way you treat the elders in your life right now is, in many ways, a preview of what's coming. The people watching you, your children, your younger relatives, even your friends, are absorbing something every single time they see how you treat the older people around you. You're not just building one relationship. You're setting an example of what respect looks like, an example that will very likely come back around when it's your turn. When it's your turn to be the one who moves slower, who repeats a story, who needs someone to put their phone down and actually listen. You are, in a very real sense, training the people around you on how to treat you one day. So this was never really a video about elders. It's a video about you, about what you're quietly building, or quietly losing. Every single time you choose distraction over attention with the people who are running out of time faster than you are. You don't need a grand gesture. You don't need to fix the relationship overnight, or make up for years in one afternoon. You just need to start small and start now. Call instead of text. Even 5 extra minutes of a real voice matters more than a dozen quick messages ever will. Ask one real question. Ask one real question. Sit through the slow version of the story and show up consistently. Not just on holidays, but on the ordinary, unremarkable days too. Because one day that voice won't be there to ask anymore. And the people who built the habit of listening while they still could, they're the ones who walk away without that particular ache. If this gave you something to think about, consider subscribing. We talk about things like this every week. The kind of truth that quietly improves how you live. And if there's someone in your life this reminded you of, maybe don't just sit with the thought. Call them. Today, if you can. Respect doesn't cost much, but it changes a lot. This has been Helpful Truth. Take care of the people who once took care of everyone else.